More than 50 years have passed since man first stepped out into the open environment, space at an altitude of about 300 kilometers above the Earth. And since then dozens of astronauts not only repeated this achievement, but even landed on the moon, and at this time here on Earth. The deep point, to the bottom of which only 3 people managed to descend, is the least explored place on Earth, around which there are many mysteries of the Mariana Trench. We won't scare you in this video with mysterious stories related to creepy creatures that supposedly live on at the bottom of the depressions and discuss whether megalodon is hiding there from people and so on. We believe that even without all this very an amazing place with something to say. The underwater trench was discovered by the British research ship Challenger during the first global and oceanographic expedition. At the same time also found the deepest point of the basin found out. The Mariana Trench is not a vertical chasm, but the shape of a trough, a crescent moon stretching 2,500 kilometers to the east of the Philippines and to the west of the island of Guam. The bottom area is 400,000 square kilometers, and here we could easily Belarus, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, and there will even be a place for some Cyprus. In 1875, scientists tried to measure the depth of the applicant's abyss was warm. There was a rope with a tide load, and a meter marking of the rope was enough. Only 4,475 fathoms, which is 8,367 meters. About 100 years later, Challenger to return here with a sounder, and the modern value of the depth of 11 kilometers from the surface of the Pacific Ocean was established. To understand the depth and present the dimensions for comparison, let's give the famous example of Everest on its own. 2,100 meters would not be enough for the highest point of our planet to sea level. It is located at the bottom of the depressions, and the Mariana Trench, as it is customary to call the depression, part of the global network. Troughs that cross the bottom of the sea and formed the bottom of the Marianas as a result of ancient geological events. Hollows are hidden in eternal darkness. The sun's rays do not penetrate through them. At depth, the temperature is only a few degrees above zero and close to the freezing point. The pressure in the Challenger abyss is 108.6 megapascals, which is about 1070 times the normal atmospheric pressure at sea level. This is about 5 times the pressure created when a bullet hits a bulletproof object, is equal to the pressure inside the reactor for the synthesis of polyethylene. Such a pressure will simply crush a person, but what's the point? She bends metal. That's why it's so hard to get to the bottom here, and only 3 people were able to get down, including the famous director James Cameron. I recently read an article in which it was reported that in 2020 an American company will conduct tours in the Mariana Trench, throws tourists to a depth of about 10 kilometers. Pleasure, however, $750,000. Bob, you and I don't like that kind of entertainment pockets, so let's get back to the topic, because due to such enormous pressure, the bottom of the Mariana Trench is covered with slime, and there is no silt sand here, mainly the remains of shells and ancient plankton as for living creatures among a rather large variety, which is surprising given such a depth of special interest for science. Are a giant 10-centimeter amoeba called Casinophyiophore, and these organisms show remarkable resistance to several elements and chemicals such as mercury, uranium, and lead in general. These are the elements that would kill other animals or people in just a few minutes. There are probably many more species waiting to be discovered at the bottom. It is still not clear how such extremophilic microorganisms can survive in such an environment. In extreme conditions, the answer to this question will lead to a breakthrough in biomedicine and biotechnology. In the end, will help to understand how life on Earth arose. It is quite possible that all this information you already know, because there are many videos on this topic, but we had to talk about it briefly. We refreshed our memory, and if you've made it this far and are still wondering, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of what located at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. The real secrets of nature are hidden here. But first, a small request: like this video right now so you don't forget to do it later. The Mariana Trench owes its great depth to the faulting of the tectonic plates. The Pacific and Philippine lithospheric plates on Earth, quite a lot of them, are divided into the 3 categories, or the main, medium, and small. These two furnaces we are talking about belong to the first category, and at the same time the larger Pacific Ocean passes under the Philippines, forming a deep trough. Such regions